going on, everybody? This your boy King Gabe here in the house, his house, and well, well, my wife in that house. Anywho, sorry to sound like Thor when he was running out of things to say in Age of Ultron, and I run out of things to say. Tony. so, anyway, yeah, we're here. So, what's going on, everybody? Today's video, of course, we're doing the history of Naomi Ricci. Yes, another history video. Follow up. Yeah. Okay, I don't know. For some reason, let me turn my phone sound down just in case. For some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason, Siri activated for some reason. It's kind of weird there. So, anywho, it's a malfunction. So, anyway, yeah, here we are. Before we go into the video, definitely want to give a shout out to, of course, AJ the Supreme! Supreme! AJ Supreme! The Supreme! So, yeah, I hadn't done that before, but there you go. Yeah, gotta mix it up a little bit, I always say, kind of mix up, kind of keep the audience on the toes. Yeah, so like, well, at least better than Patrick's ideal of it from SpongeBob. I like to mix it up, keep you on your toes. Yeah, but not what he does though. Anywho, but yeah, definitely shout out to EJ the Supreme. Yep. Our Patreon, of course. So definitely, just like him, you can be a Patreon too. The same way Smokey the Bear says, only you can prevent forest fires. Well, only you can be a Patreon pledger to the Miracle Universe. Only you can support us like EJ the Supreme. And only you, by supporting us and by contributing to the channel and supporting what we do and stuff outside the channel and other things that come up, only you, by doing that, will be able to get early access to different features as far as early viewings of different videos like this, and depending on how, and say all the instructions are on the title. You go to that section, see what each contribution will give you. There will be shout outs, comic books, and also possible mentions of a business you might have, long as it's approved by Miracle Universe and it is family friendly. You can get all of that. Only you. But you must support us on Patreon. Do that today. And as a certain YouTuber I've watched, everything's gonna be fine, viewers. Everything's gonna be fine, viewers. Everything's gonna be fine, viewers. Yes. Okay. Why? Oh, why did Gabe suddenly get creepy all of a sudden? So, okay, but yeah, but you get the idea. Little something is and don't worry, I wasn't trying to creep you out, Yeah, just like I said before, trying to mix it up a little bit, that way openings won't be all the same in every video. So, and pretty sure upon realizing that, hopefully, you also got a good laugh out of that. It was funny. Yeah, so have a little fun on the channel. Also, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and get some of our books along with that Patreon pledge. So, let's get into it there. And I didn't mean to drag that as long as I did, but oh well. So yeah, history of Naomi Ricci. Yes, this as you've seen in the previous videos and shorts that I just released, and there's probably going to be some others. They may already be up at the time I released this video, depending because I currently in the process of catching up with posting different things that I have uploaded previously before this video, while this one's processing and everything, as well as also keeping new videos uploaded each day. Both videos as well as shorts. Yeah, definitely. And that's one thing. That's definitely one thing to recommend to other YouTubers watching this, especially if you guys, those of y'all watching this, y'all content creators. Um, whether you're just uploading for fun, or if you're like me, you kind of make kind of put yourself out there and make a little something of it. Nothing wrong with that. Make your business up here on YouTube, or you're just doing it for fun. Either way, and even if you are making a business of it, still have fun with it because, like I say, it has like any line of business or job or anything like that. It's gonna have its ups and downs. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's gonna be ups and downs even with something like this. I'm definitely going through it, but the thing is, if it's something you really want to do and you can have fun with it, you'll be able to get through the downs in order to enjoy the ups. So yeah, if you definitely, it's just like my mother. She's a school teacher. She wanted to be a school teacher, but there are ups and downs with teaching. Especially with kids and everything. Not saying that kids are bad, but it's just that's how I like. But there are ups and downs to it in general. So being that she wanted to be a teacher and chose that career, that's so I'm pretty sure she had some fun with that. There, she did have a lot of moments of fun, especially different things she planned with her students and everything. I've seen it myself. I've even I've sat it. I've even seen some of the things she's done with her students and everything. It's pretty. Yeah, she's a fun teacher. At her school, at the school she taught at. So yeah, that's why she was like I say, times that it kind of would, be tiring and stuff like that. She was able to get through that with the help of the Lord, and also, you know, that I want to do this. Oh Lord, give me strength. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's one thing to definitely remember. Have definitely, um, even if you're doing this to make a living, have fun, and definitely definitely one thing I should have said first, but I'm gonna say now. I should have said this first, put the Lord first in what you do. So, yeah, definitely do that, and yeah, you definitely like I say, you'll be able to get through, you know, easily get through the ups, but you'll also be able to get through the downs. Yeah, because like you say, Lord God will never leave you nor forsake you. So, yep. But one thing about it, you gotta want to do it and have fun. So that's how it works, especially with stuff like this. So anyway, uh, so like I said, going into history of Naomi Ricci, yeah, it's definitely a follow up to probably some other videos that will be up by the time this one's released. Videos I know are already up as I'm making this. There was a short, Hiko and Naomi. I know there might possibly be another short that's going to be already up. That I'll be releasing after I make this video, so you're probably going to be already seen it. With her as her persona, the Nightfox. I'll be telling you a little bit about that as we go into this video. And also a little bit more about Hiko. And there also was the video I released, definitely focusing on Yumeko romance, Hiko and Naomi. And there's gonna be some more videos like that, just focus just of Yumeko romance because, like I say, I like a lot of action. I do most of what I like in media and also like writing my own stories and stuff. Definitely action. I love action. I love adventure. Like a little humor as well, cause I do some jokes. Yep, I even watch a little Sponge. I even watch SpongeBob a lot, so trust me. I as a I'm no strange. I'm no stranger to humor enjoyment. Um, so yep, humor that I personally like, of course. And also that kind of fits in well with what I watch, from time to time. Um, so yeah, I like all that, but I also like romance, of course. Yes, I said it. I do like some good romance in what I watch, especially when it's natural and it's written well. It's not forced in, and also there's little some good backstory behind leading up to the romance. It's also really sweet. Uh, and a lot of that comes from because I've had crushes ever since I was like 5 years old, maybe possibly four. I might want to say, but I do know that what I do know from right off the top of my head, I definitely had a crush on a girl right at our church, at our old church that I got baptized in. 2 Sundays after my baptism, I might add, because we had a program a couple Sundays later, and she was one of the guests there. So yeah, yeah, definitely had a crush there. Yep, and probably we'll do a video on that another time there. Another, so that'll be a separate video as far as like different crushes I've had. So yeah, a little more into the romance. Leading up, of course, to my wife. Yes, the build up to why I am romantic as I am with, of course, my queen. Yeah, so yeah, that'll be a separate video though, because right now we gotta focus on Naomi. Just like in the previous video when we focused on her and Hiko's, uh, what their relationship is going to be going into. Yeah, what the development, the beginning stage of their relationship. So yeah, so all right, let's get into this. So how Naomi Ricci got started. First off, if you didn't already know from previous videos, she's a character that was made by my sister Casey, of course, uh, along with other characters that she created that will be featured in this book. Julie Yukashi, her brother Tim Yukashi, Julius Hekarin. Yep, that's gonna as confirmed to be in the second book, as well as also Melina Kingston. So yeah, so that's a total of 5 characters that she herself created that will be in Yumeko series, along with the other characters as well, like Hiko and Samuel, as well as others that will be seeing other human characters will be seeing later, like the ones that Samuel meets with Brian and Calvin, Angela, Monet, um, and all, as well. Oh yeah, well as also the Dino Magicians that's gonna be in the second arc. Hiko would meet up with later on, and possibly some other characters along the way here and there. And also, let's not forget Brownie and his friends. Yes, now I know definitely all the anthropomorph, pretty much most all the anthropomorphic characters, pretty much from moi, because as you guys all know, Gabe still has his plush toys. As a certain someone say, a grown man with a plush toy. There was a little something else she added to it, but I'm not going to say it because this is a family-friendly channel, and we are definitely keeping it that way. I tried to keep some of my previous channels that way, but they kind of slipped, and yeah. So anyway, yeah, we'll definitely keep. So yeah, grown man with a plush toy. That's all we're saying. um, so yeah, with that said, yeah. So going back with Naomi, when did she first came up with Naomi? Um, I know there's some other characters that Casey has come up with in back in our role play days. Julie obviously was the main one that was used for a lot of stuff, especially mostly in Yu-Gi-Oh, but also in some other things. Um, so Naomi, now I want to say that she might have used that character, possibly in Digimon somewhere, maybe Frontier. Not completely sure. I want to say she used Julie for that one too, but she may have possibly used it in Digimon somewhere. Yeah, if you're watching this case, yeah, definitely inform us in the comment section so people can, so that way the other viewers watching can see the truth. Yeah, that way they can know from you on that one. Yeah, because I'm not sure. I'm just guessing on that one. I do know for a fact that we did that Naomi was in another role play of ours involving Transformers. It was a Transformer series that we together made up at some point like between I know it wasn't in high school, but it was at some point after I graduated and started college. Some point between me starting college and as well as her, both of us starting college, and before Christina and I got married. Yeah, while I was still single and also still living with my folks. Because yeah, I did not venture on my I did not start living by myself until the very year before the wedding. Yes. Matter of fact, me and Christina, we got married December 2011. Um, I did not start living on my own until August of 2011, right before the wedding. That's when I first ventured out, and yeah, I'm just gonna be straight up with y'all. It was kind of tough starting out, having to deal with stuff with the house and the bills. It was tough starting out, but thank God I got through it. We got married. We here now, so yeah, like I say, still a few ups and downs, but I mean, we here. As Martin Lawrence said about Gina, hey, baby, we here. Like that, la 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 la. So, yeah, like I say, like I say, it's some rough patches, but yeah, it came off. God brought us through. So, yeah, that's being straight up on that. Thank God. So, yeah, it was somewhere, like I say, between college days and before uh, getting married and being on our own. So yeah, while I was still with mom and dad, mama. So, anywho, um, during see the Transformers series was called Transformers Emergence that Case and I made up, where the human characters, of course, her character and my character, um, and a couple of others that we inserted in there. Um, that's what I'm trying to think. I can't remember what my character was named. I'm just gonna guess Derek. Then there was a character similar to uh, I think a character that's going to be in Yumeko a little bit later. Zayden was also a part of this. He may have been under a different name in the role play. And of course, Casey's character now was called Naomi. That was the I think no wait, I take that back. Her character was actually named Nana. Yeah, Nana. In a different spelling. Nani. Nana, and she had a friend of hers. There was a friend of hers that I guess she imagined in the series with us, and that was who she named Naomi. Yeah, that was the. So it was Nana and Naomi in the Transformers Emergence series that we made up for role playing. Um, yeah, like I say, the human characters merging with the Transformers, sort of like the way the Tamers would merge with their Digimon in season 3 of Digimon Tamers, with the bio merging thing, or in Japanese they just called it Matrix Evolution. But it was pretty much similar to that. And when they merged with the Transformers, they would be inside and these were it was the Autobots versus Decepticons, by the way, another one of those. So they would get inside, obviously, the Autobots while they were in their vehicle mode. They would transform the vehicle mode first. They would get inside of them, so like they're about to drive. Then when they got ready to transform, they would instantly, uh, some kind of way, I guess maybe shrunk down or something, magically placed into the inside the center of the Transformer Spark. And then in while the train while say Optimus Prime, for example, while he's in robot mode, you would see them inside the Spark, which, yeah, that's why I say similar to Digimon Tamers, because they would be like in that orb of light inside the Digimon. Sort of, so it's sort of similar. So the Transformer Spark is sort of similar to that, and they'd be like, and it would sort of amplify the Autobots' power. Another comparison this would make is Gundam, of course. And they be the giant, since we're talking about giant robots. Shining Finger. So there was that. Not really much to say on that. There, I think it, I we did a few episodes of that, and I think there was even a transform I imagine for Christina having a character in there with a Volkswagen transformer called Shelly, uh, like a little pink Volkswagen. Um, and I think that's pretty. Yeah, like I said, there's not much I remember episodes like what we came up with wise, other than just that and the fact that we had a character Naomi in there. So um, we did. There was one thing I will share before I go to the next thing. We this was I think this was an ideal of mine. This role play was actually, so it probably this role play this actually, I think we came up with this at some point after 2007, because we had just seen the first Michael Bay live action Transformers movie, and if y'all remember, there was a commercial for Burger King, a Burger King ad for the toys and the Burger King kids meals, where you saw Optimus come up to Burger King. They're like, can we help you? I like a Whopper, no cheese, extra pickles. Sir, this is a drive-through. You need a car? Oh, fine. He changes to truck mode. You need a driver? Oh, come on. Honestly, if I was them, I think it would have been best just to let him stay in his robot mode, because then he could pick up the meal. I'm just saying. But anyway, commercial humor. So I actually imagined that happening in our role play somewhere in the first episode, before they went into battle with the Decepticons there. Just getting I think it's still on here. Oh, okay, it was okay. It was something on my screen I was getting off there. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much the most I remember. Um, and also it was some references in the role play to Transformers Armada, because that was a Transformers series that Casey and I really watched a lot of together. I've seen other Transformers series, but that was one I think she really liked, that one. And I remember recently she told me that most of her interest with Transformers, aside from Armada, is the live action movies. So especially Bumblebee. Bumblebee! Yeah. So, moving on. Since there wasn't much back then of her, we go into Heroes of Dreams. Heroes of Dreams. So he got to the 10th book, This is where um, the idea of bringing Naomi into the series was, and because it was superhero themed, she was given the identity of the superhero identity of Nightfox. So, as you can see there, this was the first time in the books I've been writing that she appeared in. As I said, as it says on the back of the book here, a superhero from 50 years ago travels from Kyoto to Italy and then to Kyoto and has become a legend. However, a mysterious assassin is looking to destroy this legend. Will Sword Girl be able to save this legend before it's too late? Find out. So yep. Yep. Okay. So anyway, yeah, the title of book number 10 here was A Chilling Heroic Legend Return. So, yep, there was that. So of course in here, I can make sure I'm on the right page. Okay. Yeah. So in here, of course, the story started off where Julie and her parents, yes, her parents were in this one. Um, yeah, parents were in this one. This I'm gonna explain more about her and her backstory, especially in past things. In another video that's going to be coming up soon, history of Julie Yukoshi, and probably a shared video, Julie and Tim. Yukoshi, much like I did with Angela and Monet. Yeah, because a lot of the stuff on most of the little bit on Tim kind of generates from Julie. So yeah, there's that. So that'll be coming up soon. Julie and her parents, they arrive. Let's see, at the I think it was Kyoto. Yeah, Kyoto, Japan. They arrived there for the Culture Day event. This is an actual thing in Japan. I actually looked this up when I was writing this. There is a thing called Cultural Day, and one thing about it, it's a lot of they have like a lot of stuff as far as different I think it's like different let's see, so I'm reading right here. Okay, yeah. So yes, a lot of different people representing different schools and places of business, sharing stories about their success, and even guests from other countries and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty much a celebration of accomplishments and stuff like that. Yeah, like I say, but definitely, and you can definitely look it up yourselves. If y'all want to look more into it there, see what it's like there. Yeah, so in there, they arrive for the Culture Day event, and that's where Julie. This is where Julie meets up with Naomi for the first time at a when she goes over to get some sliced pepperoni at a deli stand. That's actually a reference to Casey in real life. She likes sliced pepperoni. So so they meet each other and they start talking, and then a dragon attacks. Also, show you some of the pictures. Yes, that was with colored pencils. Now I will say some of the colored pencil drawings are not so bad. Yeah, they some of them actually do come out pretty good. Now obviously the Photoshop pictures are still going to be better, but there were some pretty good moments with the colored pencils. However, the advantage of Photoshop over colored pencils also not only looks better than the colored pencils, but yeah, you imagine how much time it probably took me having to not after drawing them. Yeah, I still had to draw them even for Photoshop, but having to go back and color these in. And one of the big disadvantages of coloring them is whenever I had to use the black colored pencil, because yeah, it is a smearing nightmare if you're not careful. Yeah, I had to be real careful. A lot of time I wouldn't even color the black parts until last. So yeah, it was a smearing nightmare. That was one of the reasons why, which it probably will be that way in the Yumeko series, why Star Striker's costume is has a lot of color in it, especially in this series there. In order to tone down the usage of black and stuff. So, at the event, this dragon attacks. Pretty well detailed dragon there. I will say so myself. Sword Girl tries to take on this dragon. Julie becomes Sword Girl to take on the dragon, and at the same time, uh, Naomi joins in as the night, revealing her power and everything, which she has ice powers, and that leads to the reveal of her as the Nightfox. Yes, you saw on the cover. Yeah, they actually meet up in their costume when they find out their civilian modes and everything. They defeat the dragon. Naomi's dad, of course, was not too happy about this. And one reason that's revealed why is because they because something one thing I think oh yeah Naomi's dad reveals talking with Julie's parents is that 50 years ago Naomi's grandmother Jenna Kataso had at 7 years old became sick with a deadly disease, and the disease was incurable. It seemed incurable, but a team of scientists that had just discovered cryogenesis. Uh, yeah, cryogenics. Yeah, they used that project to save her, and sort of like freezing Captain America. But at 17, the side effects from that experiment, Jenna was able to freeze things. And shortly after accepting her powers and adapting to them, she became a superhero known as the first Nightfox of Tokyo. So, then at the age of 27, Jenna met an FBI agent named Henry Ming. They got married, and 3 years later, they had a daughter named Chio. At 12 years old, Chio developed the same powers as Jenna and eventually became the second Night Fox of Tokyo. Once Chio was 18, she got a scholarship in nursing at the college in Italy. While she was there in Italy, she met and married Alberto Ricci. Of course, they did get to know each other, dated and all that there. So, um, about 20 after they had gotten married at 22, pretty young, they had Naomi, of course. And you can see you got the that's Jenna, first Night Fox there, as well as and now you see these are both now Naomi's parents. They married, and of course have baby Naomi. And Naomi becomes of age, the age that she is here in the book, which in this Heroes of Dream series, Julie, as well as some of the other characters, were obviously 8. Naomi was 5 at the beginning of this series when they met her. So the summer that Naomi turned 5, something very tragic happened. While Chio was out patrolling as Night Fox, she was killed by a mysterious assassin, and the assassin was never caught. Uh, feared in fear that the assassin or more like him would attack again, Alberto took Naomi to Kyoto, Japan, to hide. So he moved from Tokyo to Kyoto, and made Naomi promise not to become Night Fox because he didn't want to lose her like the way her mother was like he didn't want what happened to her mother as well as his wife to happen to Naomi. However, yeah, one thing Julie's parents informed uh, her dad about is that we yeah, I mean I mean we get where you're coming from and everything, but you know, one thing about it, it's not your fault there, and what they mentioned about what they mentioned about something that they had gone through with Julie and everything, and as well as accepting the fact that Julie was Sword Girl, so and also about the Dream League. Here's a interesting picture of the Dream League. Yeah, that's going to be definitely coming into play at some point there in the Yumeko series. Yep. So going through all of that. Like I say, reason I'm not mentioning about because, like I said, this is gonna be saved for history of Julie and Tim. Um, what Julie's parents are mentioning. Um, then some robots show up, and they end up. So robots show up, and of course, um, go a little bit further. Just kind of going through a few things. Um, Naomi, of course, becomes Nightfox. Her and Sword Girl they team up along with some help from their parents, and they go in to a place called Kamatoto Towers to face the big crime boss, and of course put a stop to him. And of course, you know the day, as they always say, the day is saved. So yeah, the day is saved. Uh, and there's even a little bit of a PSA about the villain. Uh, since this was especially to the kids, um, this villain there's a scene where Naomi throws her weapon, piercing him like what Loki did to Phil Coulson. However, this is a then I had to reveal that this was a robot and not a real. This was actually an android, and the PSA was an important note to the kids. Sword Girl only did this attack because Korasu is a machine and not a person. Don't ever do this to a person. Yeah. So yeah, then they download they freeze them and have a program downloaded into them. As a downloading program. Yep. So and of course, they even got some upgrades to their outfits to make more traditional Japanese style, like with the komodos there. So, yep. So that so that was the start of Naomi here in Heroes of Dreams. It's even a picture of her and Sword Girl with Casey, of course. And yeah, this is not a Photoshop. This is actually before Photoshop. Um, when I use there was a thing on Microsoft Word that actually allowed you to do this. Now you could probably see from how it's edited in there that it's okay, but not quite as good as Photoshop. Yes, but like I said, I didn't have Photoshop, so that was had to use what I had. Yeah. So yeah, so there was that. Also stuff that's gonna be coming up, blah 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 blah. And yep. So it actually Naomi's adventures in Heroes of Dreams would continue a little bit there. Now, of course, into the anniversary book, as you can see, right where's she right there? Yeah, right here. Of course, animated by an old by an old friend of mine from back then, Antonio Vance. Yeah, had did the cover and some of the pictures in here that was involving a guest of his. Yeah, there was a bit of a crossover in this anniversary special with a character of his known as Nose from a comic strip series of his. Who knows? And who knows what he's doing with them now? Yep. And also there was a special villain that he put in for this anniversary book, which to me was felt like a movie book. Um, yeah, that was yeah the villain was a villain called Backbite, sort of like his a creation he came up with that was sort of inspired by like Darkseid and Thanos. Yeah, so yeah, pretty much the Dream League's Darkseid and Thanos. Um, so let's see what all we got with Naomi in here. Basically meeting up with the other Dream League members, of course. There's a Oh yeah, there is a point in the book where it actually states about let's see, Dream League member number 8, civilian name Naomi Ricci, league name Nightfox, age 5, birthday November 21st, 2006, female, various ninja techniques and the ability to freeze things, arsenal, fox javelin, and saucer. So yeah, that was that there. Let's see. Of course, they mentioned about the new costumes that was in the end of the other book. Let's say, and then of course, let's see, maybe there might I'm not completely sure yet, but might oh boy, them are some old games. There was some pictures of when I had my game when I had the old Game Boy and even the Game Boy Advance there. Yeah, and some old Transformers. Oh boy. So let's see. Let's go. Like I say, trying to keep the focus with Naomi here. Um, so yes, not really much. There's a part in the book where they're at a convention. So obviously, like any convention, you would, cosplay. Naomi's cosplay costume was as Doctor Who, which because Casey, that's another show that Casey was really into. I've heard of it because of Casey mentions it a lot there. Never really got a chance to actually or thought to look at it, and there's quite a bit of shows that I have not sat down to look at there. So maybe they might see a little Doctor Who or something like that. You never know. I mean, it sounds like a pretty interesting show. Don't get me wrong. I mean, yeah, but it's quite a bit that I haven't sat down to see. But it doesn't mean that I don't like them. Yeah, because I mean, one thing I always say, how can you give a proper, like or dislike or even a judgment of something you ain't even looked at it yet? So, yep. Like I said, I would definitely have to see it in order to determine, what I think about the show. What I think personally about the series. Yeah. Maybe one day I might, check it out. Like I say, it looks like it's pretty interesting. Yeah, yeah, and so yeah, Doctor Who, the time traveler with the, of course, everybody knows about the sonic screwdriver. Yeah, because Casey even had a sonic screwdriver herself that she took a few pictures with on her Facebook page there. So yeah, there's that. Then of course they end up seeing the big. This is how I drew the backbite villain there. Yeah, you can see, like I say, kind of has that Thanos dark side sort of vibe going. Uh, and then he had a little sidekick with him called Warp Tag. I don't know if that's somebody I'll be using or not. Now I actually came up with Warp Tag there. Um, so yeah, it's a possibility he could be in it. The backbite character, uh, probably not because reason why because one thing about it, I wouldn't want to put characters in there from somebody else and not have their consent on that. Yeah, so yeah, it's one thing about not have the consent there, but there's some, but I got some other ideas in mind though. So yeah, yeah, and this was a weapon that he used called the gravity straw. It was a little ideal from Antonio as well there, but it say to try to yeah, the gravity straw was supposed to kind of spin the Earth backwards, and then it would malfunction, and then it malfunctioned, but caused a planetary explosion there. So yeah, and there's a part where they all got split up into this virtual reality game, and in there they weren't able to access their the power, like their original powers and stuff, like Sword Girl with her psychic, or Naomi with her ice powers and everything. So instead, they somehow were able to use the abilities of the characters they were cosplaying at the convention. So Naomi now had the abilities of Doctor Who, which was pretty cool there. Um, yeah, some of the others, depending on what they dressed up as, they had the abilities of some characters they dressed up as. Like Samuel had the abilities of Food Cat. Uh, then say Julie, I think, had dressed up like Supergirl. She had her abilities there. Yeah, so on and so on there. Yep. So yeah, definitely like I said, I'm just pretty much going through where Naomi's come in. Some of them even I think there was some of Bubblina and her friends actually dressed up like some of the other uh league members there, and one of them was dressed up like Nightfox. So yeah, it's just this is I'm just gonna say it's not like bad. I'm not saying that the book here is bad, but it definitely did go all over the place with a lot of stuff I wrote in here. I just pretty much went with it. So, but it was fun. But like I say, they definitely were fun to make, and like I say, definitely like I say, even with the development of better writing, it definitely shows that it definitely some heart and fun did go into it there. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, they all team back up, go up against Backbite. So yeah, that's so there probably is gonna be the what I was about to say earlier. Um, Probably in the future I would probably do some Heroes of Dream history videos. Yeah, just the Heroes of Dream series, since I have mentioned that a lot in my previous history videos, like Samuel in this series, and Brian, uh, and some of the other characters I've mentioned. So, and like Naomi just now. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for that. So that's pretty much all there was. Only thing that came after the anniversary book was two other books, book 11 and 12. Of course, Naomi is in there, but she wasn't the main focus there. Um, there was going to be something I was going to write involving her and some new kids that she would meet up with, but like I say, it came out a little different in the published state. So yeah, a lot of time each time I would get ready to write a book, there were more than one ways I was going to write it before I finally decided on how it would be written. So yeah, so there's that. Now, and of course, the only other thing involving Naomi, as far as past books before Yumeko, was of course the Brown Chronicles. There, Brown Chronicles. This is where Casey actually first came up with the idea of Naomi being autistic. So she wasn't autistic in Heroes of Dreams. Yeah, just a regular person there. Also, in Heroes of Dreams, I sort of imagined Naomi's character similar to Kari from Digimon, which you could probably see if you didn't see it in the imagery of her of how she was designed in Heroes of Dreams. Yeah, she kind of had the resemblance of Kari, but with a ponytail there. So yeah, that kind of who I had in mind when I designed Naomi's character was Kari from Digimon. Still kind of had that when I started writing Brown Chronicles, but the only difference, of course, as I just mentioned, was that Casey had said, "Hey, I want to do something new with Naomi. Let's make her autistic." That was my first entry into writing an autistic character. Um, which now for Yumeko, of course, I've especially this novel series, but even when which I'll get into the comics in just a second, the Yumeko comic. Um, but even but transitioning from the comic to the to of course the what you call it Oh yeah, the comic to novel. Yeah, it was a much better writing in the whole thing of her being autistic because I actually was looking at videos, and actually Casey was the one that sort of showed me about this TikToker Nicole, uh, what was it? Sound of the Forest, Nicole Parrish, who say really likes bugs and everything. But she was a kind of who I would look her videos I look at a lot to really get an idea of how autism works, like from what she explained about it, based upon her past experience, based on how she was growing up and stuff, and how she currently was at the moment there because of it. So yeah, the Brown Chronic and so here in Brown Chronicles, Naomi's appearance. Yeah, she um it's after Hiko and his sister Taikari and his mom. They arrive in America. They meet up with Julie and Tim, of course, and join them for dinner at this restaurant called the Cafe of Wonders, where they meet up with Zayden and his brother Mark. Oh no, I'm sorry, Zayden and his brother Tyrone and their parents Marcus and Felicia. The parents are the owners of the restaurant, and of course, as they're all chatting and everything, Naomi arrives a little later. Uh, as revealed that she's real good friends with Julie and Tim, and much like Heroes of Dreams, she was younger than Hiko. Um, he in Brown Chronicles and also the Yumeko comic, Hiko is 11. Him and Julie are of course 11, and here in Brown Chronicles, yeah, only difference was is that characters like Tim and Naomi and Taikari, of course, were all I think like 8 years old. I want to say, yeah, 8. So yeah, it was still an age difference. Her being younger. Ooh, excuse me. And also a big difference. Unlike Yumeko in here, it was going to be sort of a thing between a little relation between Tim and Naomi in Brown Chronicles. Um, and like I say, yeah, when Naomi arrives, Taikari speaks to her and everything, introduces themselves like, "Give me a high five." Um, Her attention becomes distracted by Brownie. As they say, and Hiko, of course, explains about Brownie, and she enjoys holding Brad. She starts kind of, and this is why I say I think my writing of an autistic character is a little bit better when I got to writing Yumiko. Um, there was a little bit I had looked on about that from this character called Julie from Sesame Street, but there was still some information I was lacking there. Uh, so it kind of comes off in Brown Chronicles of Naomi being really sensitive. Say yeah, which I mean that could be a possibility with some because every autistic person is different. But like I say, it wasn't. That was pretty much all I come up with as far as her character. Then of course, Hiko suddenly disappeared. Um, Appeared and yeah, Naomi kind of freaked out in the second book. There's just a little bit in here about it there. Yeah, she sort of freaked out, thought it was her, thought she had done something there. Taikari, of course, tried to comfort her, and then that was pretty much it as far as Naomi's character. I remember writing the rough draft for the third Brown Chronicles book, which I never did get to. Then eventually I switched to doing. Well, actually, what happened in the process of trying to do the third rough draft, I did kind of start with the fourth Bubblina book, and of course 2020 came, and of course Brownie Reaction started uh, from then to halfway through 2021, and finally came back to writing the comics again, finishing up Bubblina 4, and then also doing Bubblina 5. Uh, in order to introduce a certain character for Christina, and then that's when the idea came to me of doing Yumeko instead of Brown Chronicles to kind of rewrite what I was doing in Brown Chronicles a little bit better. And of course, the first two Yumeko books came into play. See, I think I got it over here. Should have it over here. And let me. Oh yeah. Oh, here it is. Gotcha. Yeah, I got the second one. Let's see, I think the first one should be in there somewhere. Let's see if the second one's here. Yeah, there we go. So yeah. So then we come into the Yumeko comic, of course. And I think I recall mentioning stuff about both Hiko and Naomi together from the rough drafts of this Yumeko series I had, but never did get the other books except for these two out. So yeah, there was that I mentioned in the previous video of the Yumeko romance. Yeah, um, so of course the first time that Naomi's mentioned here, she's it's when Hiko is of course when him and Zayden meet up with Julie and Tim for the first time, and Hiko looks at Julie, and of course, like as I may have probably mentioned before, uh, mistakes her for Naomi, as like, will you be mine, Naomi-chan? And then it's like, Naomi. So yeah, that was the first time that she was mentioned there, and Hiko's uh, fantasy there. Then of course go into the second Yumeko book. That's a nice picture there. Yep. So the next time that Naomi was mentioned here in the second book was when they got to Brownie's house, um, and Hiko figures out that Naomi is there, and goes to the guest room where she's at. Um, and this is the picture. Hiko zipped off, of course, and sees where she's at in the guest room. Like, wow, she's like Sleeping Beauty. And of course, fantasizes himself as the prince about to come wake her up. And that's where that book ended. There, that was also some pretty interesting. That was some interesting pictures right here involving when Zayden's trying to flirt with Melina. Yeah, my son's almost like Brock, what he does in pretty much every episode of Pokemon. Hey, and of course, oh yeah, and that Humana word, that case that I use a lot. Humana? Hey, and of course Julie pulling at Zeta's ear, and this is what I was talking about. This picture behind them over the microwave there, over the mic right there. Yeah, that was actually a stock footage picture I had doodled years ago, and I just put that up there because it kind of made me think of something of a painting from New Orleans or something like that. The way it looked. So yeah, there was that. Yeah, I think pretty much, and then of course there was even some other paintings I edited in Brownie's house. Flowers and a bowl of spaghetti from Olive Garden. Yeah. So, yep, little stuff like that kind of caught my eye there. So, yeah, that's pretty much was what I could say as far as involving Naomi. Because a lot of what I said about as far as what's coming up in the Yumeko series, yeah, it's pretty much been said in my some in my previous update videos, and also Yumeko romance. I will say, yeah, she definitely the Nightfox persona. That's definitely going to be coming. How she's gonna be as Nightfox. That's it's probably gonna be a little different from the way it was in like Heroes of Dreams and stuff like that. Because there's a whole thing of magic. We're still gonna get some superheroes like Star Striker, but yeah, the Nightfox thing will be a little different. Uh, and you, excuse me, definitely will find out when we get to that point in the series. So until then, yeah, that's pretty much it. So definitely enjoy what you heard here and everything. Definitely like, share, and subscribe. Buy some of the books, especially the comic books mostly. I would. Only reason I never now I know I've been showing Heroes of Dream books in some of these videos like I just showed now. Only reason I hadn't really mentioned as far as them being for sale, I think they might still be available on Amazon. They probably are because I hadn't took them down or anything like that. So they probably are, but but the reason I kind of put more emphasis with the comics more so because of it's a little the comics are a little bit better. Um, but I will, but like I say, in the future I will do some history of the Heroes of Dreams books. Yeah, actually, that way you guys can hear what those books were like. From all the way from book one to book 10, the anniversary special, and even book 11 and 12. So yeah, that way you guys can see what all happened before, of course, we went into the comics, and even some other things that were made in the process outside of Heroes of Dreams. So yeah, we'll definitely be getting that in the future. But until then, like I said, like, share, subscribe, get some of our comic books, as well as also support us on that Patreon like AJ the Supreme. And we will see y'all in the next video. And y'all, excuse me, I got to go take care of some laundry and also work some more on that novel there. That way I can give y'all another update with that and some other things. Until then, see you later.